What are you streaming?
What's up, bud? I can't hear you. You gotta unmute yourself.
Every time when I mute it, I'm like, yeah, I'll unmute it on cue. You watch me. And every time I don't. Hello. How are you, everybody? Good to see you.
What's up, buddy?
Killer interview,
Hey.
gentlemen. Killer interview. Yeah, I'm having a good time. I was like, keep going, keep going. I'll just hang back.
No, they're coming back on. Both of them are going to come back on the show for sure.
Badass. All right, so we're gonna mix it up. Usually I do, movie reviews from yesteryear or just some shit that I'm into. So I figured, let's kind of go more into the future. Let's do streaming and let's kind of mix it up and see what everybody else is streaming as well. So without further ado, and this is probably one of my shortest segments of all time in space, which kind of jingles Danny's balls. Okay, he's very excited about this. Okay, the fact that
I guessed for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it's probably going to be about a 2-hour segment. I'm totally lying. But without further ado,
I need another drink. Then hold on.
He's not kidding. He's not kidding. Castle Rock. Some of these are a little dated, but this is about a year old. But I don't know if anybody's heard or has seen this. It's on Hulu, as you can see. It's exactly what you think it is. It's basically an intertwined fictional story, 10-episode story arcs of Stephen King's fictional characters in the town. So basically, you're getting Annie Wilkes from Misery. You're getting Salem's Lot intertwining. Okay, so it's pretty. Yeah, at first I was like, all right, how are they going to pull this off? And I was like, wow. After I banged out one of the seasons, I was like, Stephen King is totally proud. Obviously, he's an executive producer, but in terms of writing, these are his characters in his town, but it's not his screenplays. His TV scripts. So the writing is so fucking good. And I got to tell you, we actually fucked up. We threw it on and we're watching it and totally into it. And as we're finishing it, we're like, oh fuck, we started on season 2. So we gotta jump back to season 1. But season 1 is its own, story arc. So unfortunately, it may have been canceled. I'm not sure if this is season 3, but I can't commend season 2 enough. I'm sure season 1's fantastic because they at least had a season 2. However, it's so fucking good. Anybody?
I've never seen it, but I'm going to now.
Oh, it's badass, dude. Yeah, if you're into like deep writing and thriller and horror, it's like this is it. And the acting's phenomenal. So
I've read so many of Stephen King's books, man.
Killer. The next one, we're gonna go to Netflix. It's gonna be The Pharmacist. Anybody? This is a kind of a true crime documentary. This one's fucked up. Very well done. And basically, by the way, Danny, I'm drinking Truly, so I should be muting the microphone when I burp because it's basically seltzer booze. Seltzer booze. Seltzer booze. They should just call it that, seltzer booze. Moving forward.
They should call it drunk burp.
Or that works too. As long as the microphone is muted. But yeah, The Pharmacist is a hell of a piece of work. And at first I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Basically, it's a middle-class family in New Orleans. And the dad's a pharmacist, as you can imagine. And his son, early 20s or late teens, has a drug addiction. And he was none the wiser. And he actually gets killed trying to pick up some dope. And his dad, the cops weren't fucking helping out whatsoever. I mean, unfortunately, in the 9th Ward area of where they were living or around where they were kind of living, there's so many murders that it's just their work is so fucking piled up. So the dad takes it upon himself to try to track down his son's killer, and he actually finds him. Okay. That said, he still has a hole in his heart. Okay. And being a pharmacist, he wants to see what he can do because he's still grieving his child, and so is his wife. The loss of his child. Long story short, he realizes there's being a pharmacist, an OxyContin pill mill in the area, and there's an epidemic of people dying. So he starts surveying this pill mill, taking video coverage, right? It gets to the point where he gets the FBI involved. He gets all these other agents involved. He takes on big pharma. It's like, holy shit, this guy is. He records everything, audio, so on and so forth. So check out The Pharmacist. It's amazing what this guy achieved. One human being achieved grieving the loss of his child. So I'll leave it at that. Check it out on Netflix. Yes, I think it's like 8 episodes, maybe.
By the way, Zach and Deepak, feel free to chime in whenever you want, guys.
Well, that's perfect timing. I was actually going to take it upon myself to say, hey, who's got any other streaming things in their lives? What's going on? What are you guys watching?
What do you got, guys?
Deepak?
Yeah, I mean, well, the stuff I'm streaming currently is stuff I've already seen before, but I'm rewatching it with my lady who's never seen it before. So we just went through classic, old school, Breaking Bad and then Better Call Saul. Just, I've seen them now several times straight through. Better Call Saul is incredible. So I'm wondering where the next season is. Where, I'm waiting for it. It's really good prequel. It's incredibly made. I'm big into Disney, of course. And as we talked about from the interview, I work with Disney as well, but in the sci-fi. So I've been loving all the Star Wars related and also Marvel related shows. Been streaming those on Disney Plus as well. So a lot of good stuff going on right now in Streamland. What about you, Zach, boy?
So I caught Loki today, which just came out on Disney Plus. I think today was the first episode. So I watched that, and it's definitely got a really fun theme, and it's building into this whole multiverse world that Marvel is clearly going into. So that's one thing that I just watched today. And then the last season I just finished was The Expanse. Which is something I need to watch. Probably it's got some good repeat value, I feel. And there's a lot of really great graphics in it, I think. And I understand that it's, a lot of CG and stuff, but still I think there's some awesome graphics in there. And just really great ideas about space and ancient history and what can be done on a more cosmic level after we've graduated from just being on a single planet. And the last one that I have to mention actually is Raised by Wolves. And if you're a sci-fi person, I think it's Ridley Scott, and it's a show they've been through. I think it's just one season now. Wow, that is an interesting one. I'd recommend it.
Badass. Yeah, I actually saw season 1 Expanse after years of my friends saying, dude, watch it. And I was like, damn, you were right. I should have watched that years ago. Yeah, it's super cool. Killer.
Have you guys heard of a show called Banshee?
Yes, I have not seen it. I believe it. Is it the Desperate Housewives guy, Mark Cherry?
I have no idea. I just was told to watch it when I finished.
Me too. Someone said, watch it.
That might have been. We might have been together on the boat actually that day.
Or that's possible. Actually,
we were on a boat together. That's when we were told about it.
I wanted to ask you, Deepak, if you have a favorite character from the Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul universe.
Oh man, I would say Gus, and also Mike. The two of them, I just love. Man, each character is amazing. But I love me some Bob Odenkirk, of course. Like Saul himself is he's incredible. What a character.
He's awesome.
I really gravitate towards Mike a lot. Just his whole persona. He's so stoic and yet focused, and yet he's just got the love. He loves his granddaughter. He's got a purpose. He's always doing things for that greater purpose, and maintaining integrity in the world of crime that he's in. He doesn't want to have unnecessary death. He wants to protect the innocents. He's got a high level of integrity while doing what he does. And to me, Mike's very respectable, as well as Gus. The two of them together, when they start forming that partnership during Better Call Saul, it's like a historical feeling, because it's already established in Breaking Bad. You see it developing. It's a really, really beautiful to watch.
How about Lalo? Lalo is, while he's kind of a gritty guy, he's also got a happiness to him.
Yeah, Lalo's awesome. That's a energy filled character.
What are you streaming, Kevin?
I thought he said steaming, so I was going to say vegetables. No, I tend to stream what my favorite thing to stream is like baseball. If I see that there's a no-hitter in the 6th inning, I jump on and I stream the rest of the game. If somebody's going to set a record, whether it's a hitting streak or anything else, I try to catch it. And I just love the actual this moment dynamic of streaming a potentially historical sports moment in real time. And baseball is probably the best game for that, because it's constant and it's the most quantified sport that we have.
You talking about statistics?
Yeah, if somebody's going for their 3,000th hit, or especially pitching. I don't know that we'll ever see a 300 game winner again unless they make 3 innings makes you eligible for a win. So some of those events, they're just, to me, the ability to witness it while it happens, to me, is the most powerful element of streaming for me.
Didn't we went to a couple Yankee games together with our kids, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. That was some good times, man.
Fun. I think we were at a game where Derek Jeter set a record.
Did he?
I'm.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
And we were also at a game.
It wasn't the number of singles or the number of hits.
No,
it was something else.
No, it was something else. And I think we were at a game where they celebrated Rich Gossage.
Oh yeah. So sports.
Well, right now NBA Finals are going. I've been watching. I haven't missed any of those. I mean, Lakers are out. Clippers still in. That's been epic. I've been loving the NBA Finals this season.
It has. Luka's been off the charts.
Luka's tearing it up. Luka's just out of blowing my mind.
And Kawhi, 2 games down, 2 games.
There's some really good players happening. I've watched all those games like the last couple weeks.
Me too. A lot of people have established themselves at another level, like Booker, like Ayton. A lot of guys are I think could build on this postseason to enter that superstar realm.
It is. There's some talking about records. There's some record-breaking games happening, record-breaking stats. Triple doubles happening left and right. I mean, it's incredible.
Luka and Trae Young got traded for each other, and both of them really established themselves as superstars, I think, this postseason.
100%.
I would take Luka over Trae. I'm not a fence sitter.
Well, I've been streaming a couple things myself. It's funny because I stopped streaming for a while because I found that my whole life was streaming. You know what I mean? Once you get into a show, it's like you ever been glad when a series ends so you can get on with your life?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Every time.
It's true because I'm like, this is so great, but I'm really wasting my life right now. But I one of the things that I'm watching right now, before I talk about the one I mentioned before, what's it called? Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's where this kid realizes he's the god Thor. And there's the giants and it's all about how they're realizing that they're gods and how they thought they were normal people and how they get their powers and kind of stuff. It's very, what country, Deepak, what country is that shot in? Do you know?
Not sure. Isn't it in Europe somewhere?
Yeah, I think it might
Ireland. No, it's not.
But it's definitely UK. I think
UK. Yeah, it's one of those like Ireland or Scotland or something like that.
Yeah, and it's what I like about it is they don't do the subtitles. They do they have English actors do the voices, but they let the actors do the acting. And it's if they do it right and they get the voice right, it's really cool. It's a very unique. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it's as long as they get the voice right, as long as you don't have a big Thor going, "Hi, I'm Thor," then it's okay. You know what I mean? But I love that. But the biggest one I've loved, and I can't wait for the next season, is Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah, for sure,
dude.
All about Cobra Kai.
We had one of the actors from Cobra Kai on this show, and I was just watching it again with a friend, and the cool thing, Craig, actually, I think we were watching it, yeah, and I love how they cut back to the original movie and they keep the storyline from the original Karate Kid, and boy, oh boy, is the acting, especially from the adults. The kids, they're kids, so their acting's pretty good. But it's just the acting from both. I hate to say it, I forget the lead's name. The lead isn't really the Karate Kid. The lead is the other guy that he beat.
William Zabka, Billy Zabka.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He is phenomenal, dude. He's like
it's a show. It's a show.
Oh my God. he's
Cobra Kai is getting a lot of love because
Incredible.
we've done this. We gave him a shout out before, like 17 episodes ago, and rightfully so. It's a cheesy, fun piece of work.
Well, but what's unique? What's unique about it is that other series they'll have the person be an evil person and then suddenly switch just for a storyline, and it doesn't even make sense how they switch.
It's common, actually.
Yeah, in this there's some predictability of like always, but his character is growing. And he had backpedals a little bit, but he's growing, and you see why he grows. And his acting is a testament to why that's working, I think, personally.
I think if he grows too much,
amazing.
it's going to kill the show. He shouldn't grow too much, in my opinion. He should grow some, but if you're going to lose all comedy if he grows too much, in my opinion.
No, he's still going to he still keeps his character quirks.
Yeah. If it becomes like, if he's starting to work at LaRusso Auto and he's just like, hello, I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. Okay.
So that's what I'm streaming right now.
I want him out of step a little bit. Just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, Zach got me like sucked into it. Zach, you should talk about Cobra Kai. I mean, that's like you got me into that real good.
Yeah, I basically did the same thing to you that our mutual friends Laylee and Chad did to me, which is like when they saw it, they wouldn't stop talking about it. And I'd seen it like, in Netflix, and I was like, there's no way that they can do this. Like they're trying to do everything now. Yeah, right. And then my two friends were listening to the soundtrack on their boat because I'm helping them, deck out their boat. And then I just went and watched it. And then it's like what Danny was saying, but like the reverse, which is once you get into it, you're like, I actually need to stop my life right now and watch this show. And whatever was a priority before is not as much of a priority. I just need to watch this show in like 2 days. And then I would not stop talking to Deepak about it until he finally watched it, and then he binged it also. I've seen it 3 times
without even a break.
Yeah,
I just
already.
I think it was one day. I think I watched it in one day.
Yep.
Please.
Because syndication, when you watch that same show before we had all the streaming platforms, when you watch that same show at 6 o'clock every day or 6 and 6:30 every day, it just becomes part of your life. And when you binge it, it's like a love bomb.
Yeah. Submergent.
Gone are the days where you have to. Well, gone are the days where you have to like you watch an episode and you have to wait a week. I mean, you can let them stack. That's what I do on the few episodic TV series that like are weekly. I let them stack. I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it when it's like done, and then just bang them out.
Sometimes
they were able to do that. Say again. Was that sorry?
I sometimes find that week of thinking about what just happened in Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul is sort of like a therapeutic thing. Like, well, I need some time.
It's a marinade. Yeah.
The intensity is like I need to ruminate on this.
Yeah. That's going to be a self-control thing then, Kevin, because you can still do that.
Do I look like I have self-control, Danny?
I have no self-control. Zero.
Yeah.
I got to binge it. But yeah, that's what's cool about some of the Disney Plus, the Marvel shows, that they've been able to pull that off because they have such a huge network and such a huge ability to do that and still not lose their people. I think there's a balance between who can actually pull that off effectively these days and who can't. And there's no question that Disney can do it if anyone can. They've got such a big way in their machine, their publicity arm. I've seen it now from working with them on the show that I'm on. Like the way they do it is just bar none. Like no one can mess with it. So they were able to pull it off with a bunch of shows recently that were done weekly. But what's up with Loki? Is Loki now weekly as well?
Loki is on. It's now weekly. It's tying in. It's going to tie into Scarlet Witch and WandaVision, which is just such an amazing name because it's both their name, but it has such a significant meaning for the whole show. And then that is leading into, we got Doctor Strange coming up with the Multiverse of Madness, and there's some Spider-Man stuff happening also linking in that space. So all this stuff is going to tie in. And the thing that I love about Marvel is back in the past, like a good streamed story or a story like in movie, like a successful story is like you got a trilogy out of it. And then after that, it's like pushing it, maybe you could do 6, maybe you could do 9 or whatever. I mean, Marvel for that first round was 23 movies. I mean, there's a new bar now. and that changed the game. Like that made everything else that looked like they were these big worlds like, oh, you're not that big. You got work to do, you know? So.
Yep.
Yeah, they got
Now I
each
gotta
one's a
buy all the
huge feature film.
platforms.
Yeah, right. They got each one's a huge feature film by itself is a standalone massive blockbuster hit, and then they got 23 of them, and then they've got multiple TV series where each episode is like a blockbuster hit. I mean, they're really like setting the bar on a whole new level.
Yeah.
The one thing I can't stand though is that everybody's got the different platforms, and so you literally, I guess it's good. It's really it's good, except that it's all corporate, but it's good that you have different platforms that compete with each other because that's going to create better work. But at the same time, it's like, man, how many platforms are there now and how many great shows you want to see? And you're like, now I got to pay for Disney monthly.
Brawny Paper Towels just released a streaming service. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like crazy now.
The market is fresh and ripe for the picking.
Anyway, Anthony, what's up?
Schitt's Creek, man. Schitt's Creek.
That show's hilarious.
Yeah. So we got on this one a little bit late. We got on it after they started winning a bunch of Emmys. And it wasn't because they started winning a bunch of Emmys. It was because it kind of got our attention. And we love Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara. And Eugene Levy's kid, Dan Levy, is, one of the writers and producers as well. Basically, Levy and Catherine O'Hara, these are SCTV. They've known each other for over 40 years. That was the Canadian Saturday Night Live back in the day with John Candy and a bunch of other cats. So their chemistry is like, just in terms of their acting chemistry. And for anybody who hasn't seen it,
all-star cast for sure.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And for anybody who hasn't seen it, I don't want to say every episode is fantastic. Chris Elliott is also involved.
Oh, he's great.
I don't want to say every episode is fantastic. Like anything, especially comedy, it's like baseball, to give Kevin a little analogy. When they hit it, it fucking works. When they hit a home fucking run, it's incredible. When they whiff, it's like, we'll get them next time, And this series is basically, it's almost an Arrested Development kind of thing a little bit. It gives me nods to that. But basically, it's an affluent family that loses their money and they're living in a motel trying to make it work. And they actually don't they? I think they own Schitt's Creek. That's like
they own the whole town. They ended up owning the whole town, and they end up like needing to go there later because of like
that's all they got
because of their whole tax thing that happened.
Yeah. And Chris Elliott is the mayor of it. Sorry,
they want to sell it, but nobody wants to buy it.
Yeah.
So they're stuck.
It's great.
There's a lot going, and then they end up living there, and the people in the town are hilarious, and all the interactions.
I think Dan Levy steals when he steals a show, he fucking steals it. He's gone forever.
He's a great actor.
He's hilarious.
But I mean, even there was a dramatic part where he found out something. He didn't even say any lines, but all the emotions that went through his face, and he just walks out. He stole the entire scene without saying a word. Because his acting is so...
Yeah, I mean, I imagine having a thespian like a Eugene Levy as a father couldn't hurt. He's
better than you. He's better than Eugene Levy. Levy's good.
They're different. They're different.
Yeah, well, his son, as far as dramatic acting, though, his son is phenomenal. Phenomenal dramatic actor. I love that.
He's got a bright future in front of him. But yeah, so that's what I'm watching. And to close it out, I'm rewatching Yellowstone because season 4 is coming out. Anybody? Yellowstone? Anybody?
I'm a big fan.
Haven't seen it. I've heard of it.
Check it out.
I'm a big fan of Costner. I want to see it. I got to see it.
So just to back up, Schitt's Creek's on Netflix for anybody. Yellowstone is on Paramount Network, but it's also on, I think, Peacock with commercials, I believe. I'm not sure.
Oh my God, there's more platforms?
Yeah, it's NBC, Peacock.
I don't got Peacock or Paramount.
Well, I'll just say this. So what we did is Yellowstone came out in 2018 and it was like $20 for the season. I'm like, I love Costner and I like that he's, kicking ass doing what he loves to do, which is, Western type shit. But wait, it's free. So I waited fucking almost 2 years. Like, damn, shit's still $20. Are you kidding me? I'm like, fuck it. So I bought it and I said, if it sucks, I won't get season 2. After we finished it, instantly bought season 2. Instantly.
Nice.
Yeah, so basically he owns like the largest piece of land in Montana. And everybody and their mom wants it, okay? Everybody and their mom wants it. So he kind of runs the ranch It's almost like if the mafia owned a horse ranch. And so the shit they do and the shit they're allowed to pull off. So it's like enjoyable. And it's a dirty game they play, but it's also a dirty game that's coming their way. So it's almost equal. So check it out. I can't praise it enough. His daughter is fucking hardcore. I don't want to spoil anything beyond that, but it's just an enjoyable piece of work by Costner and Company. Check it out. Season 4, I think, is going to hit later this summer. A friend of mine is actually he's got a big part in it. Lives in Montana, so we're all excited about that. But beyond that, that's it, gentlemen. Oh, Suzannah, jump in. I want to know what you're watching these days.
Wait, Suzannah? You just said, oh, Suzannah? All right.
100% I did.
Hello, gentlemen.
Very funny jokes.
Hello.
Very funny joke.
All right, so today I am watching Dynasty. I used to be addicted to All My Children, but
You mean like old school, like Dynasty, like Dallas,
No,
like
it's a
that
new
kind of
one, right?
vibe?
Oh,
Like back in the
that's
day?
not old school. That's like it's a reboot.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
There's a
Especially
new
with that poster.
Dynasty?
it is, and it's really good. Really
Wow.
good. It basically, so like All My Children is like 20 years of a soap opera, right? So this one is like every storyline in 20 years compressed down really quick episodes. So it's like kind of funny and campy if you're used to watching old soap operas. But it's basically about a family that was a grandfather, a father took over the company, and now the daughter took over the company, and they're just building onto their family, and it's every ridiculous storyline you could ever come up with. And I'm
That's
only
guilty
on
pleasure.
season 2. Yeah.
Killer.
Awesome.
Where is that streaming for people?
This
out
one
there?
is streaming on Netflix.
Ooh, that's dangerous for me.
One I finished earlier this week was Dirty John with Amanda Peet and Christian Slater.
Oh, I love her.
This one is the Betty Broderick story. It's about a couple who has been together for 16 years, and she put him through school, and he became a very successful lawyer. This is a true story. And he ends up cheating on her, and you'll have to read the story. It's very good. I wanted to watch it twice.
Awesome.
Was that good? Another one I've been waiting forever. Okay, so Dirty John you can find on Amazon Prime.
My favorite. Sorry, Prime.
One I've been waiting for a really long time to come back on because season 1 was so great, and season 2 just started. There's only 2 episodes out. Is Why Women Kill. Great show, different storylines, different women.
I'm seeing a theme here.
Are they true stories?
I'm not sure about this one, but the Dirty John is true
one
story.
of these stories.
So I'm interested in the Why Women Kill and if they're true stories, and if you have a favorite female murderer.
So Lucy Liu is in season 1, and she ends up killing because he's dying of cancer.
That's
So she's mad.
No,
She's
it's a
pornos.
suicide. It's a help. Like she's
Right.
helping him.
Right.
So there's different storylines,
Oh,
different
gotcha.
things. Yeah. Let's see.
Netflix
Oh, yeah. Why Women
or
Kill.
Amazon Prime? Yeah.
Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. Okay, cool.
Paramount.
Cool.
Younger is on Paramount Plus as well. This is about a 42-year-old woman who decides she gets divorced. All these women are like divorced. If you watch every single thing I've just shown you tonight, I don't know why. Anyway, so she's divorced. She has to go back in the working field, and she ends up lying about her age, trying to be a millennial. And she ends up like tricking everybody because that's the only way she could get a job was to be young again.
See, so it's not happy wife, happy life. It's if you're good with the cock, you get to keep the rock.
No, actually, all these encourage me to keep my skincare up.
Wow, that's a car alarm going off in the background here. Sorry about that.
Mute it if you have to. If you're not.
No, steal the car. Fuck it. This is your chance.
This is your chance.
Okay, so this one has a lot of seasons, and I really enjoyed this one. It's about a group of people that blow up the Capitol building, and everybody in it dies except for this one guy, Kiefer Sutherland.
Of course.
And he is the designated survivor. And he
Always
was only,
Kiefer.
yeah, but he was only chosen the designated survivor because they felt he could be a puppet. So it's very interesting how it all turns out.
How many seasons are there now? Because this has been around for a while.
I think it's like 7.
Yeah.
Let me look.
That's a cool plot idea right
Maybe.
there.
No, there's only 3 seasons.
3? Man,
3.
I think like I remember like 2015, 16 it came out. So all right, so they're not like rushing it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Kiefer
Taking
carries
time
that.
with this.
Yeah.
Kiefer has that reputation that just follows him, where you're just like, yeah, 24.
There's actually an actress
Yeah.
in there. I don't remember her name, but she is the FBI agent, and she actually like steals the entire show.
Really?
She is the only reason I watch the show.
So Kiefer's
Really?
mad.
Yeah, let me
He
see.
was like mad.
Awesome.
So is there any like shut up in there, kind of like how he is in 24? You know?
He is very dominant, and
So he's
it's like
Not a
what?
puppet. He is not a puppet.
No, he is not a puppet.
And they are mad that he's not a puppet.
Not at all. But he actually has to go through like everything our presidents have to go through with like terrorist attacks and
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Reminds me, I recently watched Dave with Kevin Kline. What a gem of a film. Anybody?
Love that film.
Right?
Love it.
Where,
I actually wanted to say one more.
oh no, of course.
one more.
I'm just chiming in.
And I don't have a graphic for it, but my favorite streaming show, I think, of all time is The Good Fight. And that's the knockoff of The Good Wife. It's like the spinoff with Christine Baranski. She is amazing. She is a lawyer, a white lawyer running a black law firm, and she microdoses on psilocybin, and it becomes like a very political show. If you're into politics, it's very polarizing. And what I found interesting about the show last season, this is like the weirdest thing, is last season was about Memo 618 and how the 1% can throw this memo up and get out of any kind of criminal act or any kind of criminal issues that they have. It's called Memo 618. The very last episode of last season, they talked about Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. They talked about Jeffrey Epstein and how they investigated his death and all that. Well, COVID happened. There were no episodes after that. And
It's canceled now because
well,
COVID.
hold on. It's not canceled.
I'm
But
just kidding. I don't know.
CBS got sold
Like,
to
this is
Paramount after
Oh
that.
yeah, they're like we gotta do a buyout and cancel this show. That's the
Yeah,
only way to
cancel.
get rid of this shit. Don't
But-
follow the crumbs, people.
But actually, the new season comes out, I think, this week. So I'm
And
excited
no
to see
mention
it.
of Jeffrey Epstein.
No mention of anything about 618. Like
course.
that's all gone.
Yeah,
But
it's been rebought and repackaged. Yeah, it's like we're just all gonna go to Disneyland now. It's
yeah,
fine.
so I wonder if
All
it's
right.
going to be different.
I also stream the Danny
No
McDermott
accents.
show every week. So should you.
Yeah,
And I think
dude.
we should say goodnight.
Killer.
Yeah,
Nice to
it's
see you
been a
all.
forever show.
Good
You guys have
recommendations.
been amazing.
Thanks for having us.
What a great show. You guys are definitely invited back anytime.